Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the strong twins formation out of the Jacksonville Jaguars playbook. I chose this formation because it's something that I've kind of run in the past, so I kind of have some experience running it, and this particular formation in this playbook has a lot of the plays that I think are really good out of the formation, so I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys my little scheme out of here. The only thing is the formation audibles aren't really that great. I only pretty much run one of them, so that kind of detracts from the scheme. You're not able to really have a lot of options available to you at the line of scrimmage. You kind of have to pick the play that you think you're going to end up running. However, if you run like a custom, or if you want to pause the game and go change the audibles at the start menu or whatever, you can do that and it'll help out the scheme a lot. So jump right into it. I'll go over the run game first. So the bread and butter run that I like to come out in and try to establish right off the bat is the halfback stretch. The reason being, it's a really consistent run. You can run it to the outside or you can cut it back up inside depending on what kind of blocking you get. And it complements the run audible really well, which is the halfback dive. So pretty much you just want to come out, read the defense. If you think you can get the perimeter on them, you run the stretch. If they're leaving the middle open like they kind of are right now, you run the dive. And so in this case, I'd probably just run the dive and just try to get upfield, get some yards right there. I only got about 2 yards. And that's the thing with the dive, it's not a big hitter. You're not really going to get many huge gains off of it. It's a really quick hitting run. You just want to try to get up in the middle of the defense and fall forward for some yards. Whereas the stretch is more of your big hitter kind of run. So I'll try to run that for you guys here. And right there they got a nice block shed and was able to shut me down. Let's see here. Right here the counter would be perfect, which is also in the formation. However, since I don't have access to it at the line of scrimmage, really my options are very limited. I can either run the dive, which I really don't want to do, or I can run the stretch. You can flip the stretch and try to run it the other way and like get a little quick motion and try to snap it quick and try to get to the outside. That's an option. Just don't do that too much because your opponent's going to catch on, obviously. You might want to do some fake flipping, playmakering, so that your opponent doesn't know which side you want to run the ball to. And try to run it right there. They're in goal line. I wasn't going to get anything. Let's see if I can get a good gain here with the stretch for you guys. Right there, I missed my hole. Only got about 2 or 3 yards. Let's see. Run it one more time. They're bringing a safety blitz. This is going to be hard to run. Right here, I would run it to the other side. So I'll just do that. Kind of quick motion and try to get to the outside. Make a spin move or something. Make 2 spin moves. When in doubt, just spin. Okay, so I'll go ahead and go over the formation audibles. The quick pass is double slant, which is a nice quick pass. I really like, always read the first slant first. First slant isn't there, look for the second slant. Your last read is Clay Harbor. You can also put like Denard Robinson or the fullback Mercedes Lewis on like a delay flat route. You can do that as like a last resort kind of check down thing. Right here. That was a dangerous pass, and I somehow completed it. I was about to beam it or throw a bullet, but then I saw the spy sitting there, so I had to lob it. That was dangerous. Don't do that. So that's the quick pass. The deep pass is flanker dig, which I don't really run. There's other better passing plays out of the formation, and there's really nothing special about this play. You've got a streak, a drag, and an in. And the play action audible is PA corner post, which I don't really run because that corner route by Cecil Shorts is way too deep. It takes way too long to develop, in my opinion. And then so does the Clay Harbor route. So it's just a lot of really long developing routes that aren't super effective. So I choose to run other plays. I'll run the dive right here. Just try to get upfield. Another thing you can do with the dive, if you know you want to run it, if it's like 3rd and short, 4th and short or something, you can go ahead and motion the slot receiver to the middle of the line and snap it. You could also put like a tight end there for some extra beef. Right here, I'll just do it with Cecil Shorts. You want to snap it when he's about right there, and sometimes right there it didn't happen. But all you want is like 2 or 3 yards off that play. And sometimes he'll shoot up through the middle and become an extra blocker. Other times he just kind of does what he did and runs across the formation. But just a cute little thing you can do if you want to. Alright, so that's pretty much the run game. Well, the dive, the stretch, and I talked about the counter. The counter is a very reactive kind of run play. You want to run this after you establish the stretch. When they start moving defenders over to the strong side of the formation to stop the stretch, that's when you hit the counter. You can get some huge gains, like right there. I was one guy away from breaking it off for a huge gain. I still got 10 yards. And it's a pretty effective run just like on its own, because you get good blocking. But it's just a personal preference. I like to establish the stretch first. I mean, obviously, if I come out the gates and they're shifting everybody to the right, then I'm going to run the counter a lot early on if they're not respecting the backside. But just a good complement to the stretch and the dive. So that's pretty much my three-headed rushing attack. You've got the counter left, the stretch right, dive up the middle. Also have some complementary runs. You've got the power O, which is also in the formation, which is a nice alternative to the dive. If you don't like the dive, you can run the power O. And then you've got the halfback sweep, which I choose to run the stretch over the sweep because the sweep you're pretty much forced to taking it outside. There's very little room to cut it up, whereas the stretch you really have the option to go either outside or cut it up inside that tight end. And the halfback draw, which I probably would never run unless I could see that my opponent was dropping like all of his linemen into coverage. Then I could see running the draw. So that's pretty much it for the running game. So for the passing game, pretty much my bread and butter passing play I like to come out in is China Special, this X play. And I literally just run it stock. It's great stock. I used to run this play so much on, I think it was Madden 13. I used to run the West Coast playbook or Bill Walsh and run this same exact play, except for it was out of a different formation. It was like the split twins. But I used to run this play so much. You've got a really good route combination on the left with the flat, the corner, and the in. Pretty much just always read the flat to the in to the corner. Man to man, you're going to want to either hit the corner, the in route most likely. Zone, a lot of times what will happen, the flat zone will he'll either sit down and guard Denard going out into the flat, and that's when you hit Blackman on the in, or he'll get brought to the middle of the field by Blackman on his in route, and you can hit Denard on the outside. But that flat route by Denard is really consistent. Gets out there quick, and because of the angle of it, you're able to catch it and try to get upfield and make somebody miss. So I really like that route. And then backside, you've got the out and up by Clay Harbor, which is also really good. Against man-to-man, it usually gets inside positioning. And then against zone, it's a nice late developing route that you can look to if everything else is already covered. It's pretty much your last read against zone. So I'll go ahead and run this a few times for you guys here. Right there. I probably threw that a little too soon. I probably could have waited a little bit, but Blackman dropped it. But that's pretty much just making your reads right there. It was man-to-man, so go ahead and throw the corner route. Probably could have also waited for the in route or the out and up. Right there, I saw the corner blitz, so I just dumped it off to the flat. Take what the defense gives you. So you always want to go flat, in, corner, and then out and up by Clay. I should have hit the in route by Blackman, but I kind of panicked. I was trying to throw the out and up to Clay so that I could throw each route, but I didn't have enough time to wait for it to develop. I was trying to throw it again, but the linebacker sank too far back. I'm going to get that route for you guys. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So okay, Blake made a terrible throw. Right there was man-to-man. He was able to get inside positioning, but Blake Bortles decided to make the worst throw of his career. Right there, man-to-man, threw the in route, but Blackman dropped it. It's another thing. Hopefully you guys aren't playing with the Jaguars, because, yeah, bad stuff happens. Right there, I threw that way too early. I'm trying to force things. Let's see. Right there, man-to-man, just go ahead and throw the in route. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much the bread and butter play. If you make the right reads, it's pretty much super tough to stop. Don't be afraid to check it down to Denard in the flat. It's one of the best flat routes in the game, in my opinion. Right there, I tried to squeeze that in. Okay, I'm going to stop throwing that route. But, yeah, just a really consistent, solid play that you really have to beat yourself by making the wrong read if you're mixing that play in, obviously, with the other plays. If you just run that same play over and over and over, your opponent's probably going to be able to make a lot of adjustments and shut it down. So just be sure to mix it up. Okay, the next play is the PA Power O. There's a couple ways I like to run this play. You can either put Cecil on an in route. He's on a stock drag route, which I think crosses the field a little bit too quick, and it kind of gets in the way with Mercedes Lewis's flat route, which is kind of awkward. So I put him on an in, so he gets almost the same depth as the drag, but he takes a little longer to cross the field. And so I always read Mercedes Lewis in the flat to the corner by the tight end, and then you've got the in route by Cecil, and then the backside curl by Blackman. Right there, I saw that there was nobody out there in the flat, and if you ever see that no one's out there in the flat, just go ahead and throw that curl route, pass lead it down, so that the corner can't jump in and pick it off. Right there. Okay, that was supposed to be to Cecil, but as you can see, I'll go ahead and throw that instant replay for you guys. I don't know what kind of throw that was. Everything was kind of covered on the right side. Like, I wasn't comfortable throwing the flat or the corner, and obviously the curl was double covered on the left, so I was just waiting for Cecil to clear that middle linebacker, and Blake made a, I don't know, I have no idea what that was. Okay, but yeah, just be patient and don't be afraid to take that short little check down, and Clay Harbor dropped the corner out. These Jaguar receivers, man. Jaguar everything. And okay, so then the other way I like to run this play, that you can run it if you want to, is put Cecil on a flat route. So you have a nice curl flat on the left, and you've got the flat corner on the right. And you just kind of read right there, curl flat. The flat defender went to the flat route, and I was able to pass lead down the curl route. Right there, saw no one was in the flat. Try to make some moves with Mercedes Lewis. I don't think a precision spin was the best choice, but you know, whatever works. Right there, I saw the flat defender sunk back to guard the curl, so I just dumped it off to the flat. So that's probably the more consistent way, I guess, to run it, because it's, well, no, I wouldn't say that. Both ways are pretty consistent to run it. You just have to make the right reads. So that's another play that I like. There's a lot of good plays in this formation. The next play that I would like to go over, I went over the counter. Okay, wide receiver streak is one of probably my second favorite passing play next to China Special out of this formation. And the reason being is because of that circle route by Mercedes Lewis. Pretty much the only adjustment I make is I'll put Robinson on a delay flat route. So YY, a right stick down. And pretty much I call this play pretty much only to throw that circle route to Mercedes Lewis for a quick pass, like short yardage situations. It's really good against zone. Against man, it's kind of iffy, so you kind of have to be quick with deciphering what kind of defense your opponent's in. If it's man, you don't really want to throw that super quick. You want to wait for him to cut over the middle, or you want to look for Harbor on the out route, or Cecil on the post. Or if you have a tall receiver outside, obviously I have Justin Blackman, who's 6'1", so that doesn't really cut it. But you can use your catch if you have the one-on-one on the outside. But pretty much that's what you're looking for when you call this play. Just 2 or 3 yards. If right there was a defender right in his face and I was still able to get 2 or 3 yards. Obviously, every time someone runs zone, there's not going to be a defender sitting right there. So usually there's a little bit more space to run, like right there, kind of. And I was able to get about 4 or 5 yards. But that's pretty much why this play, I really like this play. I think it's really good to have a nice quick pass to break out later on in the game for that crucial, like 3rd or 4th and short. Something that you're comfortable running. Right there, he dropped it. Also, I would put, that's why I have Mercedes Lewis back there instead of whoever the Jaguars fullback is. I would put your best receiving threat back there from the either whether it's your tight end or if you're using like the Raiders and you have Marcel Reese or something. Obviously, he's great back there, but I would definitely put my best receiving threat back there for whenever you run this play. Right there, you just want to get upfield, and as soon as I catch the ball, I pretty much just hold the right stick up to try to get a truck animation and just fall forward and get as many yards as possible. Right there. So I'll go over some of the, or I'll try to throw some of the other routes on the play. Right here, it looks like a double safety blitz, so it's probably going to be man-to-man across the board. When it's man-to-man, you can go ahead and throw that post route by Cecil. Usually, whenever he cuts to the middle, he'll get a lot of separation. You'll be able to throw that really easily. Right here, it was man-to-man again. I tried to wait for Mercedes to cut to the middle, but it took a little bit too long to develop. Right here, they're in goal line, so I tried to throw the out route, and Blake kind of overthrew it. But pretty much, I don't really call this play for anything else other than quick passing that circle route right there, and trying to get upfield and just get 5 yards at the most usually. Really good little niche play to have in your scheme. Other plays, let's see, curl flat is another great play. Pretty much I already went over the curl flat on the left with the PA Power O play. You read it the same way. And then on the right side you've got the out route and the angle route by Lewis. Pretty much what I like to do, if it's too high safety like it is right now, I usually read the right side of the field, so I'll read the out route and the angle route by Harbor. Usually someone's open. If it's one high, and there's only one safety in the middle of the field, then I'll go ahead and read the left side, because usually it's either cover 3 or like cover 1, and you'll be able to either read the curl flat or you'll be able to hit the curl against man or something. So right here, I would read the right side of the field. You just want to try to get upfield and get some yards. It's not going to be a big home run type of play unless your opponent makes a huge coverage bust, but it's a very consistent, just moving the ball down the field kind of scheme, I guess. There's not too many hugely explosive plays, but it's a very solid scheme that you almost have to beat yourself in order to mess up. Right there, Cecil wasn't ready for the ball. I'm trying to see if I can read that curl flat for you guys one time. Okay, that was a dangerous throw. I would never throw that in an actual game. But yeah, just be careful about throwing that curl route. Always pass lead the curl route down, because otherwise, if I didn't pass lead that curl route down right there, the defender probably would have jumped it and picked it off. So let's curl flat, and then the last play that I run, this formation does have a bubble screen. I wish bubble screens were good, but they're just so bad, and so I just don't mess with it. If bubble screens were good, this formation would be so good. So the last play that I run is the PA fullback slide, and pretty much I leave everything the same. Pretty much what you want to do is you always want to read Harbor first, the tight end on the shallow cross. If he's not open, then I pretty much look for the corner out by Shorts, the post by Blackman, and then check down to Mercedes Lewis in the flat. So you always want to try to hit Harbor. It's always my first read, especially if you've been establishing the running game, and it makes it really hard for your opponent to defend that little shallow cross, because generally the first thing they do to stop the run is either blitz their linebackers or move them out of the middle of the field or something, which allows Harbor to slip in into open territory. Go ahead and run this. I got sacked. I had Mercedes Lewis so wide open in the flat, but I was trying to wait for the Cecil Shorts route. Right there, just go ahead and check it down in the flat. They were in goal line, but they brought a big blitz. A lot of times, if your opponent brings a big blitz, Mercedes Lewis will be open in the flat. Right there, man-to-man, go ahead and hit the corner route. That corner route's really good against man-to-man. Pretty much always get separation in my experience. Blake Bortles, run, make a play. I got hit, and that pretty much threw off every single read I was trying to make right there. Right there, I saw the corner blitz, so I just dumped it off to Mercedes. Kind of panicked. Let's see, I'm going to try to throw that Blackman route for you guys. Don't have enough time to develop. The Jaguars O-line is so bad. That was only a 4-man rush, and I had like maybe 3 seconds in the pocket right there. Like right there again. Okay, last try. Okay, well this is against goal line, so that doesn't really count. Last try right here. I'm going to try to throw that Blackman post route, even if it kills me. Right there, okay. That's pretty much what you want to look for. That's pretty much your last read on the play, is that post route coming across the middle by Blackman, if nothing else is open. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was able to help you out if you run a playbook with this formation in it. Hopefully you can add this to your scheme. If you're on a custom and you liked it, you can add this to your scheme. Obviously, I made some bad reads, and it didn't go super smoothly because a lot of times either Blake made a bad throw, or I made a bad read, or somebody dropped the ball, or I got super insane rush on me in like 2 seconds because the Jaguars O-line couldn't block anybody. But it's much more effective if you use a team that isn't one of the worst ones on the game. So, with saying that, I hope I was able to help you guys out. Until next time, guys, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.